science classes. Today we are going to discuss about another Mendelian disorder, that's actually the sickle cell anemia. Right. What do you mean by sickle cell anemia? Anemia, obviously you can easily understand that there will be some problem in carrying oxygen, right? For that hemoglobin present in blood, right? So that's why we are telling you it's the disease called anemia, right? Sickle cell anemia. That's why. What is the meaning of that? Sickle cell means the blood. RBC. What is the natural shape of RBC? You all know that. That's actually biconcave or disc shaped. We can say that, right? Because it doesn't have the nucleus in the adult stage, right? So if you are checking that, you can see that the shape will be a biconcave, right? Or the disc shape like structure will be there. You can see that entirely. If you are sidewise, if you are seeing, it will be like this, right? Biconcave or disc shape. You can see that the nucleus is not there, so there will be a depression. This RBC will become a sickle shape. Sickle, you know that the knife which is using for sawing purpose and all. So you can see that this is the sickle shape. Their surface area will be really reduced. Because of that, there will be some problem for carrying the oxygen. There will be a low oxygen tension. Such diseases is known as sickle cell anemia. Now, how it will become like this? That we are going to discuss here, right? So here you can see that sickle cell anemia, it's an autosomal, right, recessive disease. That means autosome linked recessive disease. That means it's not at all related to any sex chromosome. The remaining 22 chromosomes are there in 23 pair, right? Remaining 22 pair, they are known as the autosomes, right? So this sickle cell anemic gene is actually related to that autosomes, right? So that's why it is called autosomal disease, and it is autosomal recessive. That means when both the chromosomes, right, the autosomes will have this gene, this sickle cell anemic gene, then only the offsprings or the person will become sickle cell anemic, right? Now you can see that here we already told it is recessive condition, right? So when the parent, that means both the parents, whether father and mother, if both are carrier, then only you can see that the offsprings will have the chances of sickle cell anemia. I will show here. You can see that there are two types of genes are there. You can see that HbA, which is the normal one, and which HbB, HbS, which is the sickle cell anemic one, right? So this is that actually we told that this is sickle cell anemia, right? And this gene is actually causing problem in the hemoglobin, alpha globin chain of hemoglobin. There will be some problem, some changes, substitution changes will be there. Because of that, this disease is actually happening, right? So there are two types of alleles are there: a normal allele of hemoglobin HbA and a sickle cell anemic hemoglobin is there, that's actually HbS, right? Now how that patient, how the person will become anemic, sickle cell anemic, that we are going to discuss here. You can see that HB, right, A, which is the normal one, and another one HbS, which is a sickle cell. So this is one allele. We told that when both the parent must be the carrier, then only that next generation will have this sickle cell anemia. So other parent, this is, you just take it as female one. I am taking the male one also here, which is also autosomal. So that's why I am taking like this. You can see that. So what are the gametes formation here? You can see that the gametes, right? Gamete will be HbA, one possibility, another one HbS. Here also the same possibility is there. You can see that HbA and HbS, and if they are crossing together, you can see that HbA and HbA, which is the normal one, right? And what about this one, HbA and HbS, right? So here this will be the carrier, a normal, and this will be the carrier. We cannot say that whether it is male and female, because here it is actually related to the autosomes. So there is no male and female. Whatever that, you can see that whether male or female, this is the condition, right? So here HbA, HbS. So one sickle cell anemic hemoglobin gene is there. So that's why it is carrier, right? If both are that the sickle cell anemic gene is present, then that will be affected. So what about here? Here again you can see that HbA and HbS. So here this will also become the carrier, but the last case you can see that HBS and HBS. This is the affected one because both alleles are sickle cell anemic gene present. So that case only the patient, that person will become sickle cell anemic. So that's why we are telling when both parents, that means father and mother, must be heterozygous, that means heterozygous condition, must be a carrier, then only the next generation offspring, whether it is a male or female, will have the chances of sickle cell anemia. I hope you understand it. Right. Now you can see that if this is homozygous dominant condition, you can see that there are different conditions. We will discuss one by one. Homozygous dominant, right? That means both alleles are same. Dominant, which is the normal allele, is dominant one. So this is a normal patient, normal person, right? If homozygous recessive one, then you can see that recessive allele is this one, sickle cell anemia. So HBS and HBS. Obviously both allele, right? Autosome linked and recessive. So both are present, then it will be affective one, right? Affected one. You can see that the person will be hemophilic, sickle cell anemic patient, right? Whether it is male or female, they will be sickle cell anemic, right? So this is the affected one. Now what about the heterozygous one? Heterozygous one, you can see that heterozygous, this is actually the recessive case. Heterozygous recessive, we can say that, right? Or you can say that which is actually here heterozygous recessive, why we are telling, you can see that both are there, right? Or simply you can say that how the heterozygous condition. Here you can say that the heterozygous condition, HPA and HPS. So here you can see that the homozygous condition, whether it is dominant, the normal allele is dominant, right? So HBA and HBA, which is the normal one, right? And you can see that whether recessive condition, homozygous, recessive हमेशा homozygous ही होती है, right? So you can see the recessive allele which is actually causing the sickle cell anemia. So HBS and HBS, then the person will be affected, whether male or female, they will be affected, right? What about the heterozygous condition? Heterozygous, you can see that there will be a normal allele and there will be a sickle cell anemic allele. So that the person will be a carrier, acting as a carrier, right? It can be a male or it can be a female. So this is the condition that I told you already. Once this carrier father and carrier mother will come together, then only the next generation will have the chances of getting sickle cell anemia. Otherwise, it's very difficult to get that recessive condition together, right? So you can see that this defect is actually due to the substitution of glutamic acid by valine, right? These two are amino acid. This is actually, the sickle cell anemia is actually happening because of the substitution of glutamic acid by valine, right? So here you can see that there will be some gene substitution will happen. There will be a GAG. In the next chapter we will learn this. Instead of this GA, you can see that there will be another nucleotide, right? You can see that will be substituted there. That's actually GUA. And because of that, the glutamic acid, amino acid can be changed into valine and it will lead to the sickle cell anemic gene, right? So this is actually where it is actually substituted in the 6th position of beta globin chain of the hemoglobin. So this we are going to learn about the codon and all, genetic code and all. In the next chapter we will learn. That time you will have a clear idea about this, right? So again I am telling this defect is due to the substitution of glutamic acid amino acid. That's actually coded by GAG, genetic code. And here the A, instead of A there will be U, uracil will come, right? So that's actually will code another amino acid called valine, right? At the 6th position of beta globin chain of hemoglobin. And because of that the sickle cell anemia will occur, right? And here you can see that the mutant hemoglobin, right? So that means if it is mutant by valine, this can even lead to that's actually undergo the polymerization, and they will even cause that there will be low oxygen tension, right? So you can see that the mutant hemoglobin molecule actually undergoes polymerization under low oxygen tension. How that means hemoglobin cannot carry proper oxygen. So there will be low oxygen tension. That time this hemoglobin molecule will undergo polymerization and it will cause the change in the shape of that RBC, right? That's actually biconcave disc shape into the normal shape, and it will be changed into the sickle shape, right? and because of the sickle shape, it cannot even pass through the narrow capillaries, right? And there will be clog occur in that narrow capillaries. It can even affect that supply of blood, right, through the organs and all, and it will lead to some problems. There will be no enough oxygen and there will be no enough supply of blood, right? So this is actually the sickle cell anemia disease. I hope you have a clear idea about this.